Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a exciting video for you guys. I'm going to be reviewing a brand new add-on. This add-on is for Bedrock Edition and Minecraft Pocket Edition. So this mod is called the Million Horses mod, I believe, or the Million Horses add-on, and it's in the Minecraft Marketplace. I believe it's listed at $2.99. So you do have to buy this mod, but this mod is so worth it for Minecraft Pocket Edition users or Bedrock Edition users. This add-on adds realistic horses, realistic genetics, and more really cool equines and other creatures as well. So when you get into... If you get this add-on, when you load into your world, you're going to be given a 1 Million Horses guidebook. And if you click on it, it's just going to pop this up. It's going to give you some general information on the add-on. So it's super cool. There's a million different types of horses that you can get. And you can kind of read about it a little bit. You will have to go into your settings, and you will have to click on a setting to turn off the vanilla horses, or the vanilla horses are still going to spawn. So in order to do that, you will have to you'll have to scroll all the way down to the bottom to the settings, and then when you get to the settings, you'll have to click replace vanilla horse spawns. This will immediately replace all the vanilla horses with the 1 million horses. So you will have to do that first before you can actually interact with the 1 million horses creatures. And then you can also disable certain horses as well. Like if you don't want donkeys to spawn, you can turn off donkeys as well. So that's super cool, super fun. And then once you get to this page, you can get the horse catalog. So it'll give you the catalog, but I already have it, so I don't need it. And this will show you all the different coat colors, markings, mane and tail patterns, all like the different breeds of horses and creatures that are involved in this add-on, which is super neat and super helpful. So this add-on comes with a couple different new things. So it will come with a whistle. So this whistle will come in handy for your tamed horses or for non-tamed horses. It'll pretty much, you can tell your animals to stay, follow, or wander. So this is super helpful for if you don't have like a stall or a pen set up for your horses. If you get the whistle, you can automatically tell them to stay and they won't go anywhere. Or if you want them to follow you, you can set the whistle to follow and they'll follow you, which is super cool. And then all it is if you're playing in survival, it only takes 3 iron nuggets to make the whistle, which is super easy to make. And then all of these guys can wear chest and armor except for the big seahorses. And they can all wear carpets to give them fancy clothes and stuff like that. Breeding is a little bit more complicated in this add-on. I wouldn't say complicated, but it's different than vanilla horses. So some horses can be bred, some horses cannot be bred. A bunch of the monster horses cannot be bred. And then these guys will have genetics. So some of them, if you breed 2 horses together, the baby is likely to have the same color or same markings as the parent, or there's a small chance that it'll get a random color or marking. And then some of them have special breeding requirements. So some of the horses have to be bred using specific items. like some of the horses need cake to be bred instead of apples or whatever. So you'll just have to read through this, and there's you can go into every single like category and read about like the wild horses and whatnot, which we will start with the wild horses. So there's 22 base coats, 14 mane and tail colors, 18 body patterns, 17 head patterns, and 14 leg patterns. And that can make for over 1 million possible different horse variations, which is super duper cool, and it's very unlikely you will get a duplicate of a horse, which makes it all more fun. When you breed horses, horses will take patterns from their parents and a small chance of using a random one instead, which I kind of already went over that. And then if you give cake to a wild horse before giving them a breeding item, the baby will then be a rainbow horse, which we will get into that as well a little bit later. But let's go ahead and look over the horses. So I am playing on Minecraft Pocket Edition, so this is on my phone. So we will go ahead and maybe I have to squat. There we go. So this is the horse catalog. So it kind of has a table of contents where you can kind of see what page you need to go to and stuff. If we turn the page, it'll show you all the different base coats that there is. So there's a ton of different possibilities that you can get. There's blacks, grays, bays, chestnuts, buckskins, palominos. There's even like champagne colors, Appaloosa colors, or should I say varnish colors, which is super neat. Here are all the different manes and tails. So there's going to be some manes that are super short, some manes that are super long, and then a mix between them. So these are all the different colors. Here's the different body patterns that they can have. So there's going to be Appaloosas, paints, different like solid colored horses but with different shading and whatnot, which is super neat. Here are the leg patterns, so different types of socks and stockings. There's some that have black shading, which is super cool. Here are the head markings, so different types of markings. There's stripes, stars, blazes, there's bald faces, there's little like mealy noses, which is super cool. And then here are all the carpets that you can put on the horses. So the carpets are retextured to look like either blankets or armor or anything you want it to be, but they're so cool. My personal favorite is probably the cherry blossom pink one or the azalea flower one at the bottom. I think those are super pretty. And then of course here's all the armor, so all the dyes do work, so you can dye the armor whatever color you want. And some of these horses will require armor to go out in the sunlight, which is most likely going to be the monster horses. And then we get into the other equines. So let's go back to the horses. So base coats. So I have a whole pasture here full of different horses that I've found out in the wild pretty much. These guys do spawn pretty frequently, so it's likely you will be able to find some of these guys pretty easily. But these guys also have new animations. They can lay down, they can roll, they can sleep, they can rear and buck, so it's super cool. As you guys can see, some of them are already laying down. When it gets dark outside, they'll lay down, they'll go to sleep, which is super cool. And their eyes actually will close when they're sleeping, which is super neat. I love that feature. But as you can see, when they're walking around and whatnot, their legs are actually more of a realistic walking animation than the normal vanilla Minecraft horses are, which is super cool and makes it a little bit more realistic for you guys. But you can see all the different types of colors and markings here. We have like a buckskin paint. We have this guy, which is kind of like a rose gray. Also, if you notice, the heights will differ. So each horse is going to be a different height. So like this guy's super tall and lanky, but then the other one is super short and squatty like a little pony. And I love that. It's kind of like the realistic horse genetics that I have on my Minecraft Java, but it's I wouldn't say the colors are as realistic as that, but they're pretty close. Here's the little one laying down. So many cool possibilities that you can have with these guys. And then these guys, I think, are just like the vanilla horses. They don't have any genders or anything, so you can breed any horse you want with any horse. Oh, this guy was rolling. He was having a little roll, which was so adorable. I'll try and catch one. And see if I can see any of them rolling. Here's one rolling. Of course it's gonna, oh, here we go. Look at him. So adorable. I love it. They're all taking a little roll right now. Oh, how adorable. I love that. It's so cute. Absolutely adore it. And then I think my settings are turned to always day right now. But let me go ahead and turn it to, change the settings real quick to where it can be day, or it can be night. And then I can show you guys them sleeping. Okay, so here we are, here they are. They're starting to fall asleep because I changed the time. So you can see the eyes are shut, the head kind of drops a little bit. And some of them will sleep standing up, some of them will sleep laying down, some of them will sleep like this where it's just flat out, which is super funny. Oh, you're just walking all over him, how rude. But yes, super cool animations and super realistic. Absolutely love it. And then we could probably go ahead and breed some of these guys. Here's the one sleeping standing up. You can see his eyes are shut. And now he's awake. Love that. Let's go ahead and change the time back to day. Now they're all going to wake up and be confused. So let's go ahead and breed some of these guys. All of these guys are tamed. So let's breed... Who do we want to breed? I might take them out of the pen to breed them, just because I have so many in here. So let's do... We'll do this the buckskin. I really like this buckskin. And then maybe we'll do... Maybe we'll do a gray horse. We'll do this gray that's rolling here. Okay, let's take these two. Come on, guys. Okay, we'll take these two out of here. Hopefully we can not have them all escape. Come here, guys. Okay. Unleash. And where are you? Unleash. And then we can go ahead and breed them. They also do have a cooldown time after breeding. I think that's normal. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's kind of got the mom's color, I guess. Or the buckskin's color. But then it has no markings, kind of like the gray. Oh my god, it's adorable. And it's kind of got like different socks and stuff going on. But it's kind of, I wouldn't say the genetics are super similar, but you can definitely see the resemblance for sure. Okay, we'll go ahead and put these guys back in here. And they can come be free for right now. Oh, sorry. Oh, this guy's cute. I like him. He's a cool, like, roan colored horse. So, as you can see, super adorable. Love the horses. So now we're going to move on to the other equines. So we're going to move on to the donkeys, I think is what's next. Let me get past all of this. So the other equines. So first we'll go over the donkeys. So the donkeys are over here. They do come in different color variations. Obviously not as many as the horses do. So this is kind of like what the normal vanilla donkey color looks like. And then we have like a brown one. We have more of like grayish colors. We have a darker brown. So you just kind of have to play and figure out the variants. Obviously they don't come with like cool markings or anything like that. They're just normal donkeys, but they're still super adorable. And then next we have the mules. So the mules are obviously you breed a donkey and a horse and you get a mule. So these guys can come in a lot more colors than the donkeys because you can breed them with a horse. So this kind of looks like a normal vanilla mule. I don't know why he's moving, but his legs aren't, but we'll go with that. They also do come in different heights as well, the mules and the donkeys. I forgot to mention that. So as you guys can see, this is more of like a gray donkey, or a gray mule, sorry. This one's kind of like a pink mule. I don't really know what color he is supposed to be. And then we have a little black one over here. Let's move you out of the way. And he's super cute. And then over here in this corner we have a super tall gray mule. He's really tall. But he's adorable. Love them. So like I said, they come in much more colors than the donkey does. Next is the zebras. So the zebras are usually going to be found in savannas, for the most part, since that's where they like in real life kind of usually are. But these guys are a lot faster than normal horses and donkeys and whatnot. So these guys are going to be really fast. From what I know, they only come in this one color, which makes sense. And they're all about the same height from what I understand. But we can take these guys out and show you how fast they are. I say they're fast, but this one's not really super fast. Definitely faster than a donkey or a mule for sure. But I don't really think they're tremendously fast. But they're still cute and adorable. Okay, moving on, we have the zonkey next. So the zonkey is a cross between a zebra and a donkey. So they kind of come in like this one standard gray color from what I've seen. They do have different heights, I believe. But they kind of just come in this gray color with the stripes. But definitely a cool feature for this mod to add, or for this add-on to add. Next we have the Zorse. So this is going to be a cross between a zebra and a horse. So we have multiple different color possibilities that we can get with these guys, and multiple different height situations as well. So this guy kind of looks like a zonkey, not gonna lie, but he has like the horse ears. As you can see, this one has like a chestnut mane tail. This one's kind of a pinto color. I don't know why y'all are all like stuck in a corner. Be free. We have this cute guy who's just laying down here. So multiple different cool color opportunities for them to have. And these guys, you have to breed them, I believe, so they need to be bred. These guys don't spawn naturally in the wild. Same with the zonkies, they don't spawn naturally in the wild either. Okay. Moving on from like the kind of realistic equines to the not so realistic equines, but still cool like fantasy horses to have. So first we have the rainbow horses. So these guys come in all 16 Minecraft colors, and they'll all have different like little markings about them, I guess. But these guys, you breed 2 horses together, but you feed them cake before you breed them, I believe is what it was for. Let me see. Rainbow horses. Here we go, rainbow horses. They don't spawn naturally. They can only be obtained by breeding horses after feeding them cake. So if you feed 2 adult horses cake and then breed them, you will get a rainbow horse. So that's how you can get these. And then if you give a diamond to a rainbow horse and a Pegasus, then breed them, you will have a fairy horse that way. So super cool, different like breeding possibilities and stuff like that. But you can see we have all the different colors of the rainbow pretty much. Come in here. We obviously have like the cyan, the brown, black. We have the blue and the light blue. We have the white, the purple. Over here we have like a darker gray with the green, the orange. The red one is super cute. I kind of like this red one. Here's the lime green, the yellow, and I think that's magenta. It's either magenta or pink, but it has little hearts on it, which is super cute. But you can see that they all have like different designs on them, which is kind of a cool little add-on, I guess. And so cute. I guess if you lose your horses often and you need a bright colored horse, you could get like an orange horse and then you would never lose it. Super funny. Love that. Next we have the alicorns. So the alicorns are a cross between a unicorn and a Pegasus. So these guys are so cool, and they're all gonna go to sleep because the time is changing again. Hold on a second. There we go. So these guys will fly, which is super cool. So these guys and the Pegasus are both similar in that they will fly. Right now they are whistled in place because they kept flying off. So they've been ordered to sit still pretty much, and not go anywhere. But there's 4 different variants that I can tell. So there's this one that's all white with kind of like a light blue mane. There's a black one here, and you can kind of see they all have like different particles that come off of them. Here is the rainbow one, which is my favorite. I absolutely love the rainbow. And then we have this one that has a kind of purple sheen to it, which is super pretty as well. So we can go ahead and take these guys for a ride. These guys are going to be fairly fast and pretty good jumpers from what I know. There we go. So yes, pretty fast. And then if you double tap the jump button and then keep holding it down, you will be able to fly. And then it'll land and you can get it to go up again. Super cool. Absolutely love these. It's a little tricky to figure out. There we go. And then I will show you guys the whistle as well. I think this one's probably going to stay in place anyway. So right now the horse whistle is set to stay. And if you hold down on the horse, it'll say this horse will stay put. So then the horse won't move at all. But then you can change the settings, so like whistle mode wander. And if you, still changing settings, hold on. Whistle mode wander. And then if you come back and then long click on the horse, it should put it in wander. So now the horse will be able to wander around and do whatever it wants, if that's what it chooses. And now it's on follow. And now this horse will follow the players. I don't think I'm far enough for the horse to follow. Or it's stuck in the fence, which is probably the possibility. Whoa, get out of the fence. Are you gonna follow? Okay, maybe not. Well, we will put it back in stay mode, I guess, and then this horse will now stay put, so now it won't go anywhere, because they will still fly off even if they're tamed. I think that's why I had to put them all in stay. I did all of this last week, so I don't really remember it all, but I think that's the whole situation as why I had to put them in stay mode. And then here are the Pegasus. So similar to the alicorns, they just don't have a unicorn horn. Super cool. They come in the same 4 variants, which is super duper neat. And these guys can actually spawn in the wild under very specific circumstances. So the Pegasus are typically obtained by breeding unicorns after feeding the unicorns nether stars. However, wild ones can allegedly be tempted into showing themselves by placing an offering of hay bales on the highest mountain peaks. So if you find like a high mountain peak and put hay bales on it, you might be able to lure a Pegasus out and then be able to obtain a Pegasus that way. They can be bred with other Pegasus, and they can be bred with unicorns to produce an alicorn. And then if you give a diamond to a Pegasus and a rainbow horse and then breed them, they will become, or they will spawn a fairy horse as their child. So it's super cool. The breeding recipes are a little bit difficult to understand at first, but once you get used to them, they are definitely easier to understand. You just gonna have to remember what each horse breed is going to get. Alright, next we have the unicorns, which come in the same colors as the Pegasus and alicorns. These guys just have a unicorn horn though. But these guys I believe are faster than the average horse as well. So super cool, super pretty. I love the rainbow one. The rainbow one is so beautiful. Next, we have the fairy horses, which are super fun. These guys are also in stay mode. That's why they're all like somewhat organized and not moving and whatnot, because they were also flying away, and I couldn't have that. But these guys also come in all 16 different Minecraft colors, I believe. Or not 16. I believe it's 10. It might be 10. Hold on. I don't remember. I feel like the numbers change all the time. No, there's 16 different variants. These guys don't spawn naturally, and they can only be obtained by breeding a rainbow horse with a Pegasus after feeding them diamonds, like we just talked about. So these guys are super cool. Obviously each like different colored fairy horse has like a different theme. So like this blue one is like the ocean, I guess. It's water. This one's like daisies, I guess. Super cool. This one is clouds. We have fire back here. Like the galaxy. This one's supposed to be a Venus flytrap plant, I guess. This one's roses, which is super cool. The pink one is hearts. This one has some snowflakes on it. This one is like a tree. But super cool. Really love these guys. The cyan one, which is this one here, is my personal favorite. Absolutely love this one. And these guys do come in all different heights as well. Hello. Let's go. There we go. Super duper cool. There we go. Super fun. Really love it. And then let me make sure that you're still gonna stay in place. There we go. Cool beans. Really cool little creatures to be added into Minecraft. Alright, moving on, we now have the seahorses. So these guys are super cool and super interesting. So let's read up on them a little bit. So the seahorses are going to be found in the ocean biomes. The warmer that the biome is, the better. They are excellent swimmers, so they swim really fast, and if you're riding one while underwater, you also have the ability to breathe underwater, which is super neat. These guys are pretty useless on land, however. As you can kind of tell, they're just kind of all like wobbling around and whatnot, and I'm pretty sure they're all getting like stuck in this corner. But these guys come in 10 different colors. So here's some of the colors. super cool. And then the red one is down there. And then we can actually take these guys for a quick swim, and I will show you. So let's go in the water, and as you can see, really fast swimmers. So these guys will travel far distances in the water, which is super neat and super cool. And they can walk on water, they're just very, very like slow at it. So it's preferred they swim. There they are in the water. Super cool. And let's change the time back. Not ready for nighttime yet, guys. And then over here we have these small seahorses. So these guys are pretty useless, honestly, but they're a really cool addition if you are into like aquariums or just to add a little bit more life into Minecraft. So they come in 10 different colors, like the big seahorses, and they come in all different sizes. And they're so adorable. They're so cute. Look at the little ones. They're so cute. And then if we read up on them. Oh, so the big seahorses, they can be bred using any raw fish. They can't, however, breed with puffer fish, should I say. And then the small seahorses, I believe, are the same way. Nope, just kidding. They can only be bred with kelp. So if you breed them, they has to be with kelp. These guys are so cute. I could watch them forever and ever and ever. They're just so relaxing to watch. Love them. So stinking cute. Okay, and now I believe that was all of the other equines. And then here you can kind of see a little bit better the colors of the seahorses. And then they have the small seahorses at the bottom. So here are the unicorns, Pegasus, and alicorns. So the unicorns and Pegasuses and alicorns, they can all carry a pretty large inventory. And if you equipped them with a chest, it kind of looks like saddlebags on them, which is really cool. Here are all the rainbow horses who also can have chests on them, and they look like saddlebags. Here are a closer look at the fairy horses. And then I believe that's all of the equines. So now we're going to move to the monster horses. So there's Nether horses, monster horses, and then some extra stuff. So I have them all in this barn because some of them can't be in the sun. So first we will start with, I believe, the monster horses first. So here we have the zombie horse, which is pretty similar to the normal vanilla Minecraft zombie horse. It just has more realistic animations and such. And some of these monster horses do have special abilities. I don't think the zombie horse has special abilities though. So here we can read up on them. So they spawn the same way that normal zombies spawn. They're slower, but they do have a little bit more health, and they are hostile, so they will attack you. They still burn in the daylight, but you can put carpet or armor on them to prevent that from happening. And then just a little bit of extra stuff. You can't breed these guys. They can only spawn in, but you can feed them raw meat or cooked meat. So super cool, similar to vanilla Minecraft zombie horses. Next we have the skeleton horse, which is also similar to the vanilla skeleton horse. Again, it has realistic animations and such, and these guys do have special abilities, I believe. Here we are. They spawn on the surfaces whenever skeletons can, as well as soul sand valleys. They're not too different from horses. They are a little bit faster but have less health. And then these guys will attack you by throwing bones at the player from a range. So if you interact with a tamed one while riding it, it will cause it to throw a damaging bone in front of it, and it does have a 2-second cooldown. They will also burn in the daylight, but you can prevent it with carpet or armor. So let's hop on this guy and see if we can get him to throw a bone. And then, there we go, it's throwing bones. Super neat. So if you are having, like, if you are fighting mobs, this horse can be helpful in that, which is super neat. And I love that this add-on added that to skeleton horses. Super neat. You don't want to mess with these guys if you're playing in survival. I did once and it ended up killing me. So don't want to mess with those guys. Next we have the spider horse, which is a little creepy but still cute. So these guys have 8 legs instead of 4 legs, and have more of a spider appearance. These guys are pretty cool. They have a couple of special abilities. So they spawn whenever spiders can. They're bigger and beefier than their spider cousins. They will remain hostile during the day, though, unlike the spiders. So you gotta watch out for that. They aren't able to climb walls with a rider on them, but they are able to jump the highest out of all the horses and are immune to fall damage, which is pretty handy. Their attacks will cause slowness, and interacting with a tame one while riding, it will cause it to spray webs, slowing anything in front of it. It does have a 5-second cooldown. And these guys can climb walls and such, just like normal spiders, but only if they don't have a rider on them. So if you're riding them, they won't be able to climb. So here we go. So let's see if it'll throw some webs. There we go. How cool. I love that. Super neat. And I mean, he's kind of cute. He's a little creepy, but he's kind of cute. Alright, so next we have the creeper horse, which might be one of my favorite monster horses because look at how adorable it is. Now, I'm not a fan of creepers, but I think this horse is stinking cute. It's short and stubby with, like the normal creeper is, with its cute little legs, and it's so cute. So these guys, let's read up on them a little bit. Creeper horses. They spawn just like creepers when it's usually nighttime. Creeper horses can be faster than creepers, but still on the slower side of horses because of their stubby legs. Their explosions are a little bit weaker than those of creepers, which is a good thing. They're also unable to jump very high. So if you tame one and you're interacting with it while riding, it'll perform an explosion that deals damage around them. It won't hurt you or your horse, and it'll also make them hop back a distance. It will hurt any other creatures, including pets and farm animals, around it though. It does have a 5-second cooldown. The explosion will destroy blocks, but a tamed one will not. So a wild creeper will destroy anything. A tamed one will not destroy any blocks. Or any, I don't even know what I just said. Whoa, brain fart. A wild creeper will explode. I can't even talk no more. A wild creeper horse's explosion will destroy blocks, but a tamed one will not. A tamed creeper horse's explosion will hurt its rider, but it will not hurt its rider, should I say, but it will hurt other animals and entities around them. So let's take this guy. It's perfect that it's nighttime right now. So we'll take this guy and we'll see what he can do. I haven't really messed around with him yet. Hello? Can I not open the gate while I'm on you? I guess not. So we'll take him out here. He can jump a little bit. So we'll go ahead and explode. but since he's tamed, it doesn't explode any blocks or whatever. I feel like I'm so close to the ground. Whoa, cool beans. Okay. I don't want to like hurt any animals though, so we're just gonna take him back to the barn. Oh, here we go. And then we can take him back to his stall. I think he is actually so adorable. Alright, moving on. So next is going to be the end horse. So this is very similar to the Enderman. And these guys are super cool because they can teleport, which is super neat. Ender horses. They spawn like Endermen. They are slightly faster than most other horses, but have a little less health. Water is also dangerous to them, so they will avoid water. And looking at them will cause them to be angry. Interacting with a tamed Ender horse while riding it will cause it to teleport up to 32 blocks forward, and it does have a 5-second cooldown period. And it will drop Ender pearls, so if you find one, it'll drop the same drop that Enderman will. So let's go ahead and take this guy out and see if we can get him to teleport for us. These lanterns are kind of in the way, but it's okay. Alright. Whoa! We're gonna wait a minute and then go again. Wow, that's so cool. I haven't really played around with this guy much, but that's a really cool feature to have. And you can jump pretty high too. That's super duper cool. That might be my favorite special ability of any horse. You can't really open or close gates while you're on them though, like you can with the vanilla horses. Which is kind of strange. I don't know if that's just like a bug or what. But you are super cool, my friend. And you're so adorable. Look at you. Okay, next we have the dragon horse, which is super cool. So these guys only spawn in the end. Where is it at? Here it is. Dragon horses are the most dangerous horse type and will only spawn in the end. They're super fast and have the most health out of any horse, and they can fly just like the Pegasus and unicorns can. They will breathe dragon breath at you from a distance, so you gotta watch out from that. They are difficult to tame or take down, so approach them if you want to risk your life, I guess. If you interact with them while you're riding it, it'll cause them to spew damaging dragon breath in front of it for a few seconds with a 5-second cooldown. So we'll go ahead and take this guy out. Oh, he's sleeping. Look at his tail. His tail curls up. Oh my goodness. That is so stinking cute. And look at how cool this looks. This is pretty cool. Sorry about the delay. My phone definitely died on me, so this is take number 2. But we're back to the dragon horse. So I'm gonna show you guys how he can fly. Super duper cool. This looks amazing. And then he also throws dragon breath for a few seconds, which is super cool, and that does have a 5-second cooldown. And we can go ahead and take him back. He's actually massive too. Like it's kind of hard to see like where you're going because his head is so big. But still a super cool horse. And yeah, he's very cool looking. and cute at the same time. Okay, so now those are all the monster horses. We're now going to move to the nether horses. So first we have the lava horse. So these guys only spawn in the nether. So these guys can't be bred at all, and they only spawn in the nether. So this guy is the lava horse, and we can go ahead and take a look at him. I know he can climb 2 blocks because he kept climbing out of his stall. These guys are incredibly difficult to tame. Like, this guy's not tame because I tried for probably like 30-40 minutes and I could not get him to tame. Even with fire resistant potions, I still couldn't get him to be tame. Water and rain will harm them, but they can be shielded from the rain with any armor or carpet. They're similar to the Kelpie, but they're able to walk on lava. So these guys can walk on lava in the nether. So I guess it's helpful if you guys are always like in the nether or something. Aw, he's rolling around. Cute. Okay, next is the blaze horse, I believe. And this guy's super cool looking. He has blaze rods like surrounding him, and he kind of can levitate occasionally. And this guy can also like escape. That's why he has like 2 layers of gates up. So we can go ahead and read about him. Blaze horses. Look, he's levitating right now. These guys can be found in nether fortresses. More health than a normal blaze. They will attack you by shooting small fireballs. They will also float when falling like the ghost horses, and then water and rain will harm them. If you are interacting with them, it'll make them release a burst of flame in an area around it, setting any non-tamed entities on fire. So super cool. We can go ahead and probably take him out. Look at him levitating. That is so cool. So he's much slower than all the other horses for sure. Oh, but he's a pretty good jumper. And then there we go. There's the fire. That's pretty cool. And of course, he can only be spawned in the nether. Spawned in there. He can only be found in the nether. I can't even talk. Okay. I forget you can't close the gates while you're on them anymore. We'll go ahead and hop off of him. Super cool guy. Okay, next is the warped horse. So this is the warped horse, and they can be found, I think, in the warped forest, if that's what they're called. I don't really go to the nether that often because it's a little scary. Warped horses. They're passive. They live in the warped forest. They have less health, but they are faster and will never attack you. So these guys are pretty docile. They don't really do much, but they're super cute. They have little mushrooms growing out of them. Little mushrooms. Super cute. A little bit more boring than the other horses, but that's okay. This guy is the crimson horse. So this guy, I don't remember what the biome is called. Crimson forest. They have more health than a hoglin, but are slower and deal less damage and are tameable. And they will still attack and whatnot. So pretty much just like a hoglin, except for slower. Still super cute though. I really like the little tusks that are coming out of his little face. It's kind of cute. And he has a mushroom on his little booty. Okay, and then the last nether horse is going to be the ghost horse. And as you can see, this guy's super cool. He's transparent. You can barely see him, but he's there. He's super cool. Ghost horses. They roam soul sand valleys. They aren't very fast, but they can jump high and will slowly float downward, similar to how the blaze horse was. They're immune to all fire damage. They will burn in the daylight, but putting carpet or armor on them will prevent this. They're completely passive. Super duper cool. And we could go ahead and take this guy out. It is daytime, however, right now, so we're gonna have to find a carpet for him to wear. And I don't play Minecraft Pocket Edition very often, so I have to find... Here we go. Let's put a light blue carpet on him, maybe? He's sleeping. How adorable. So we can put a carpet on him? Maybe? Maybe not? Or does it have to be armor? I'm still trying to figure this out. That should have worked, right? Armor? So I can put armor on, but I can't put... Wait a minute, because this is not really making sense at all. Maybe let's try like a normal block of wool. What is going on? Okay, let me figure this out real quick. Okay, so I figured it out. I was putting it in the wrong box, which is really silly of me. But now he is wearing the blue carpet. So now we can go ahead and ride him. And could probably just take him out this way. It might be a little bit quicker. Super duper cool. And you can tell he slowly floats back down. And he's very passive. He doesn't really do anything. He's just kind of chilling. Super duper cool. There we go. We can go ahead and take all this stuff back off of him, and he can live peacefully in here. Super cute. Alright, the last horses are the Kelpies, which are super cute. So the Kelpies spawn in these swampy biomes. And we can go ahead and read up on them. There are a few different variants. So, swampy biome, they're excellent swimmers, so they swim really fast. You can tame them and ride them. And that's pretty much it. I mean, they're just kind of swamp horses for the most part. You can breed them with an axolotl bucket, which is interesting. But there's 5 different variants that I've seen. So there's this one that's like a darker color with a darker green mane. We have this one that's like completely dark green, even with the mane. And then these guys are swimming in the water because they love the water. We have a lighter green horse, and then we have a black Kelpie here. And then my favorite is this white Kelpie who is currently living its best life. See if I can get her out of the water. Come on. Here we go. Here she is. She's so beautiful. It looks like she has like little lily pads on her. And she's stunning. She's gorgeous. Absolutely love her. But those are the Kelpies. Like I said, they're really good swimmers. I don't really have a big enough water area to show you. But they're pretty average. Pretty average horses. They're not super fast. Not the best jumpers. They're just really good swimmers, I guess. So those are the Kelpies, all 5 of them. As you can see, she's going to go run back to the water because that's where they all want to be. And like I said, they usually spawn in swampy biomes. But those are all the horses. They're constantly updating this add-on, so I'm hoping that we'll eventually get more horses and more cool animals from this add-on. I think I caught everything. I think I did get everything. So, super cool add-on. Highly recommend it. Again, this is for Minecraft Pocket Edition and Bedrock. You do have to buy it in the Minecraft Marketplace. I believe it's set at $2.99, but it's definitely worth the $2.99 for this really adorable, cool mod, or for the cool add-on. If you guys would like to see me mess around more with the horses, breed them, figure out the genetics part of it, or mess around with them, anything like that, just comment down below what you guys would like to see, and I will try to film a video for you guys about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye!